Hi there, I'm Driz, bringing you another mod tutorial for Minecraft 1.14.4 on blocks and items and registering them, and basically just registering things in general and how I do things so that you kind of have an idea, and I'll explain kind of what's going on just so you're aware of why we do things and why things are done a certain way, basically. So to start off here, we have our blocks here, and what I did is I'm using something called Deferred Register, and I mean there is other ways you can use the event, and this is going through an event bus, and it does essentially go through the same event all of your other things would normally go through, but this is done in a way that it's just more versatile. So like this is a supplier, it has a bunch of different options, and so it's a lot more useful than just having a normal block and then registering that and then attaching your ID to it or your resource location to it. So what I'm doing here is I created these two registries here, and what I'm essentially doing is basically adding my things um, to a map essentially, or a list, and then registering that list. And so what I did here is I made this block. This block goes into this list, and then here I'm taking that block and I'm adding this block here to the um, to a map so that I can register them all quickly as block items. That way I don't have to go through this huge process. And you can make it specific, so you can specifically target certain ones and add it to this list, or you can just add your own by registering them, basically just like this, except you use items and register, and then you can make your own custom block items if that's what you're looking to do. Other than that, you just make these two commands, and all you're doing is essentially registering these two lists. And so this happens in your main. So everything is here. This will be on GitHub if you want to take a look. I mean, there's really nothing more to it. I usually separate them, my items and my blocks, just because it's just cleaner that way. And I will be doing all of my registering this way, except for a few things that can't be done using this method, but they'll be done in similar ways, so it's not really very different. I recommend this just because it's much more versatile than just making a normal object, um, and it's a better option. So if you're looking also to make a test group, um, and you want to get that registered item, all you gotta do is put in the item and then .get, and that will actually get the item. And that's essentially, yeah, all you need to know. Whoops. Um, when it comes to blocks, I want to let you know the other intricacies of blocks, like the other things you need. You do need a block state in order to get the block working visually. And if you want to name everything, here's a lang file. This is essentially, you need this structure here, file structure, to have everything done properly. So everything is written out just as it is here. And here's an example block. So block states, essentially, this controls where your block is going and the different variations if you have different variations. So if you're using block states to control how your block looks, there will be more than one option here. It won't just be just one model. And after that, this links to your block in the models tab. And from here, this just cubes the whole thing, so all the textures will look exactly the same. And then from here it goes to your textures. The alternative is that there's an item. So in the creative tab, there's an item for everything. And if it's a block, what you would do is you would parent essentially sending it to the block model. That way, it's essentially just showing the block model instead of making an item, which is what this is. So this is the test item. And what it does is it just generates an item, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. So here we have an item, a PNG for a block, and a PNG for an item. And that's all that you need to have those working. And with this, you should be able to make any item. These are not custom items, so they're just extending item, or they're just items essentially. And so you don't really need much more to make an item. But I will be showing custom items in another video. This will be part of a big, I guess you could call it a set of tutorials where I'll be showing essentially how to do a lot of different things like particles and structures, but I'll be using Deferred Register, which is why I'm starting everything over and doing this over again. But what you need to do is make sure that you register everything in here using this iEvent bus, and that's it. And all of this should be working. Just to show you guys that it is working, here is the game. And when I go into game here, I open my inventory. This is my test mod. It's named. This is my icon. In here we have the block. The block actually does work. There it is placed. I can place it so the item is working. And that's it. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to subscribe, follow, comment. I do have 2 mods called Grass World and Foam Dome. Just plug in those if you're into deco mods or underwater mods. These are pretty great. And I will have the Discord for a modding Minecraft community that is pretty good at helping out. So if you're looking for help on how to get things done, you can always ping me there as @Driz, and I will help you out. So any more information will be in the description below, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Thank you.